You are sitting comfortably watching this video right now, but the place you are sitting at today, 4.5 billion years ago, was boiling at 8,500 degrees temperature, and for many thousands of years, this place was completely covered in ice. In this 15-minute video, you are going to witness the 4.5 billion year journey of this Earth. So without any delay, let's start the video. Today, in the place where our solar system exists, there used to be various types of gases and clouds of dust. According to scientists, far away from these dust clouds, there was a burning fireball, which was a newly born star. Over time, the star began to cool down, and as a result, a massive explosion occurred within the star. Due to that explosion, the dust and particles scattered across space started to come together. The particles in this dust, due to pressure and temperature, formed large asteroids and rocks. Similarly, because of the pressure, the radioactive material present in those dust clouds created gravity. Due to this gravity, hydrogen and helium began to gather at one spot. As hydrogen and helium accumulated, the pressure increased, and a huge explosion took place in the middle. That explosion led to the birth of our sun. The planetary fragments scattered across space because of their heavy weight started moving closer to the sun and began orbiting it. Gradually, these asteroids collided with each other and transformed into small planetary fragments. Due to constant rotation, planets like Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars were formed. According to scientists, during that time, a planet called Theia also existed between Earth and Mars. Due to Earth's gravitational force, the planetary fragments orbiting the Sun began to orbit around Earth. Later, these fragments slowly fell onto the Earth over millions of years. The same phenomenon was happening on the planet Theia, which was located nearby. Due to Earth's gravitational force, Theia also began moving closer to Earth. As it approached one day, it collided with Earth. When the large Theia planet collided with Earth, the spherical Earth shattered into pieces like sand and rocks. Half of the shattered Earth started orbiting around the planet like Saturn's rings. As these fragments continued to collide with each other, the Moon was formed. At that time, there was only one ocean on Earth, and it was boiling at a temperature of 1900 degrees Celsius, filled with lava. Over time, the scorching lava began to cool and solidify like ice. The heavy elements, such as metals and radioactive materials on Earth, sank to the center of the Earth, forming what is called the core. The lighter elements rose to the surface of the Earth. However, for millions of years, meteorites continued to rain down on Earth. Among these meteorites were abundant salt, minerals, and water. This process continued for several million years, gradually covering Earth's surface with salty oceans. According to scientists, during that time steam was rising from the oceans, and this is when the first microscopic life forms were born. After millions of years, the Earth was completely filled with water. Because Earth's inner core was formed from radioactive material, it kept heating up continuously. However, whenever Earth's surface cooled down, the heat from inside the Earth couldn't escape, leading to the formation of volcanoes. Around this time, a similar event occurred, and volcanoes, with temperatures of thousands of degrees Celsius, began to form in the middle of the salty oceans. For the next few million years, these volcanoes continued to erupt. As the lava from these volcanoes poured into the oceans, Earth's surface began to form. During this period, there were no seasons or atmosphere on Earth, and meteorites continued to rain down from space. Exactly 3 billion years ago from today, Earth's atmosphere became stable. Volcanoes also began to calm down, and at that time, a day on Earth was only 12 hours long. As time passed, the microorganisms in the oceans began to evolve and started living in colonies. 2.5 billion years ago from today, the first living organisms emerged on Earth. They survived by utilizing the minerals and sunlight from the oceans. These organisms released oxygen as waste. During this period, volcanic activity had significantly decreased. Due to these microorganisms, the oxygen levels in the atmosphere suddenly increased. As the oxygen levels rose, Earth's atmosphere began to form. In the coming thousands of years, the oxygen levels in the atmosphere continued to increase, causing these microorganisms to spread throughout the salty ocean water. A few thousand years later, at one point, due to the increase in oxygen levels in the atmosphere, all the microorganisms living in the ocean died. Until that time, not only had water and an atmosphere formed on Earth, but the planet had also completely stabilized, and oxygen levels on Earth had significantly increased. As a result, iron present in the Earth and the atmosphere reacted with the oxygen in the water, and over hundreds of years, the Earth transformed into something similar to the planet we know today. As time passed, tectonic plates began to form on Earth. This caused lava from within the Earth to come out through cracks and boil for hundreds of thousands of years. This increase in carbon dioxide caused by the volcanic eruptions led to a rise in atmospheric temperatures. With the rise in carbon dioxide levels, clouds began to form and acid rains started. These acid rains solidified the surface of the Earth. The surface became so solid that all the water on Earth turned into ice. The first significant ice age arrived, and the Earth turned into a white ice ball. Whenever sunlight would strike the Earth, the planet absorbed it, but due to being entirely covered in solid ice, the sun's rays were reflected back. This led to the Earth being covered in ice for millions of years. Volcanic eruptions from within the Earth melted the ice, returning the planet to a previous stage. Microorganisms living in the depths of the oceans began to evolve slowly. They started using oxygen to grow larger and more complex bodies. At the same time, nitrogen and phosphorus levels in the ocean increased, and using sunlight and carbon dioxide, algae from the Thallophyta family formed in the ocean for the first time. This algae helped in the growth of small trees in the ocean. However, microorganisms in the ocean were using the atmospheric oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide. Meanwhile, volcanic eruptions continued, increasing atmospheric heat. Over time, the Earth's ice continued to melt, but acid rains started again, causing the Earth to become solid and cold. Once more, the planet was completely covered in ice. This process continued for millions of years, during which oceanic creatures kept evolving. Over time, many marine organisms and types of plants went extinct, but those that survived emerged onto the surface of the Earth. Due to the cold and icy conditions on Earth, these organisms did not dry out or die for thousands of years. Microorganisms, which had evolved over millions of years, transformed into marine creatures. When volcanoes began melting the entire Earth's ice, the oceanic trees grew significantly and spread widely. As trees expanded, oxygen levels on Earth rose once again. With the rise in oxygen levels, acid rains also reduced. Additionally, the Earth's ozone layer became thicker. Around 450 million years ago, plants called mosses began to grow on land for the first time. Over time, various types of trees emerged on Earth. At one point, trees grew to a height of about 80 to 100 feet. Meanwhile, marine organisms were beginning to emerge from the ocean. These oceanic creatures, born in the sea, gradually evolved into animals. The entire landmass of Earth was concentrated in one area, known as the Pangaean Island. The Earth's climate and heat stabilized, and at that time, a day lasted between 21 and 23 hours. Simultaneously, marine creatures were coming out of the water, and due to changes in the atmosphere, their body weight, color, and forms began to change. Gradually, these aquatic creatures evolved into dinosaurs over a few thousand years. These dinosaurs started eating the leaves of trees, and their bodies grew long and wide. Some dinosaurs were predators, causing them to be short and very fast. With the entire land mass of Earth concentrated in one place, many areas of the planet turned into deserts. Forests were located close to the ocean, so dinosaurs inhabited those areas. Exactly 200 million years ago from today, significant rifts started in Pangaea. Due to the division of Pangaea, oceans began to flow into each rift. As a result, greenery on Earth increased, allowing dinosaurs to evolve vastly and rapidly. Dinosaurs ruled the Earth for the next 200 to 300 million years. During that time, dinosaurs ruled the entire land, from the oceans to the clouds in the sky. Due to this, India, which belonged to Africa, collided and fused with present-day Russia. The Himalayas were formed as a result of this collision, exactly 65 million years ago from today. An asteroid larger than Mount Everest and weighing 450 trillion kilograms was hurtling towards Earth at a speed of 80,000 kilometers per hour. That asteroid, burning like a fireball due to its high speed, collided with Earth. The energy released from that impact was so powerful that it was more catastrophic than detonating 1 billion nuclear bombs at once. Where the asteroid hit, all the living creatures and trees turned to ashes. The force of the asteroid's collision with Earth caused dust and debris to spread in all directions. A terrifying storm arose in the oceans. Earthquakes and fires began to engulf the planet. Within a few hours, extremely dangerous gases spread due to the dust, turning the entire Earth into a hellish landscape. Some living beings died from starvation and others from inhaling the poisonous gases. During this time, some creatures survived by living underground, but all life on Earth's surface was wiped out. This is referred to as the biggest mass extinction in history. The Earth's atmosphere turned completely black, blocking any light from reaching the surface. As a result, the majority of animals and trees on Earth were completely destroyed. With the atmosphere filled with dust and debris, acid rains began once again. The Earth turned cold and became like a ball of ice. However, this time, the Earth did not remain frozen for billions of years. After only 80 to 90,000 years, the ice fully melted. Just as the Earth's atmosphere returned to its previous state, small organisms started emerging from the Earth once again. When the Earth's ice began to melt, Africa was home to extremely cold forests. It was in these forests that the creatures on Earth evolved into monkeys. However, as Earth's temperatures increased over time, these forests in Africa began to dry up. Due to the forests drying out, the monkeys living in them struggled to find food. As a result, they had to travel long distances in search of food. In this journey, the monkeys learned to walk and run in search of food, which helped them hunt other animals. Over time, these monkeys gradually evolved into creatures known as apes. These apes began migrating to other regions in search of food. Due to the changes in the climate and environmental conditions in those areas, their body structures and skin colors began to change. Over time, we evolved into early humans. From tools to fire, we advanced and slowly transformed into modern humans. But how much truth is there to the idea that humans evolved from monkeys is uncertain, because back then, monkeys learned to walk for food. Yet today's monkeys can't walk properly. If all the monkeys from that time evolved into humans, why haven't today's monkeys evolved? If humans evolved from monkeys, why don't humans weigh other humans? Even Darwin, who attempted to prove this, failed. So how exactly the first human came to be, and from what is something we will explore in future videos. Due to the way our Earth came into existence, we have developed concepts of morality, culture, ethics, justice, caste, religion, and government. We have greatly advanced over time. Today, we have evolved into the most intelligent and developed beings on Earth compared to all other creatures. It took almost 4.5 billion years for the Earth to become what it is today, and it took millions of years for us to evolve from the tiny creatures living inside the Earth to the humans we are today. But in just the past 100 years, we have polluted this Earth to such an extent that no other species has done before. As a result, we are once again increasing the levels of carbon dioxide on Earth, causing the planet to heat up again. According to scientists' beliefs, in the next few hundred years, Earth will undergo vast changes. In a future video, we will explore how our planet is going to be in the future. Thank you for watching.